The end of ESG. This is an article by John Stossel, the great libertarian, posted over at dailysignal.com. Now, before I get into the article itself, let me give you a quick, I don't know if you want to call it a caveat, just a warning. ESG is not dead. It is not dying. It is not ended. It is not over. It is in the process of being rebranded. It will bounce back. This is the tactic that the left has been using for years now, decades probably. I just didn't notice it before, but now I realize what they do is if they have something they really want to latch onto, and they latch onto it obviously, but then as it starts to reveal itself as being failed, because progressive policies generally fail, once it starts to become clear that, oh, this is not doing what it's supposed to do, they pull it back and then they rebrand it and then they push it forward from a different angle. New name, new words. We saw this with the whole censorship. There was the Ministry of Truth that was being proposed, and then there was enough pushback to where they're like, okay, well, maybe we won't do it. We'll just put it on the down low for a while and then bring it right back later under a different name, but oftentimes with even the same people. So while I do appreciate what John Stossel says in this article, and I'm going to agree with 95% of it, we have to remember that it's not over. We still have to continue to fight every day against these woke policies, and this is one of the big ones, especially from a corporate perspective. According to the article, sustainability investments became popular a few years back. So-called experts said companies shouldn't just focus on profit, they should put more effort into being nice. Funds pushing ESG, or better known as environmental, social, and governance, were all the rage. Giant investment firms like BlackRock pressured companies to hire more women and minorities. CEO Larry Fink announced all investments are going to be looked through sustainability. But sustainability is a mostly meaningless word. Parnassus Investments claimed it helped meet United Nations sustainability goals of nutrition and sanitation by investing in U.S. foods and Clorox. Starbucks phased out plastic straws while adding lids that used more plastic. BP rebranded itself as Beyond Petroleum, but then they wisely mostly invested in petroleum. Former VP Al Gore made money peddling climate change hysteria. He created sustainability investment funds claiming sustainability factors actually enhance returns. But that wasn't true. His funds did enhance Al Gore's returns. He made lots of money. But over the past 3 years, his sustainable fund underperformed the stock market. Recently, the fund managers admitted that they had, quote, made investment mistakes. Most funds promoting, quote-unquote, sustainable investment did worse than the market. So, why did trillions of dollars pour into such funds? According to Matt Cole, CEO of Strive Investments, it's because of pressures. Their largest clients are blue state pension funds like CalPERS and New York Pension, who put pressure on them. Adopt these agendas or you're going to lose us as your largest customer. CalPERS still bragged about mitigating climate risk and adding climate-conscious board members to Exxon's board. Former presidential climate envoy John Kerry pompously bullied banks. He said they will invest into climate-related efforts. Today, banks and even BlackRock are running from sustainability nonsense. Cole said, what you're seeing is ESG funds shuttering at record speed, and they're not apologizing. Progressives never do. But again, I cannot stress this enough. Even Larry Fink, I'm disappointed that Stossel didn't point out that Larry Fink, just I think it was about a year ago, Larry Fink came out, and well, he didn't come out, he said it sort of privately, but he said it in a shareholders meeting that, hey, ESG, I'm getting sick of it. I'm getting sick of ESG. This is a guy that's been promoting ESG. And you're thinking, oh my gosh, he's finally coming to his senses. No. He was getting sick of the narratives surrounding the letters ESG, the words environmental sustainability and governance. He wasn't against the concept, and he still isn't against the concept. He was against the reputation. He was against the multiple news reports that continue to come out even today saying, hey, ESG funds suck. If you want to lose money, or at least not make as much money as you would otherwise, invest in ESG funds. they're terrible. You'll lose money quick. And he didn't like that. So he started talking about rebranding, and they are pulling back. BlackRock is pulling back. Other banks are pulling back. Other financial organizations are pulling back. Investment hedge funds, they're all pulling back from what has been labeled as ESG. But what we're going to see in the coming probably months, maybe a year, but I imagine it will be within the next, say, 7, 8, 9 months. We'll start to see a resurgence of these types of funds. They won't be called ESG. They'll be called something completely different. But you know what they're going to focus on? The environment, climate change. You know what else they're going to focus on? Wokeness. They're just going to call it something else. They're going to call it, instead of focusing on environmental concerns, they're going to focus on net zero investments. That's the type of rebranding that they're going to do. And that type of rebranding is going to be successful because, well, they know the reality is that they can pressure people. They have a lot of power. And generally speaking, their audience, the people that are willing to dive into that wokeness, well, they're stupid. Let's spread the truth together. You can connect with me on X at JD Rucker, or you could subscribe to my Rumble channel, jdrucker.com/rumble, jdrucker.com/rumble.